Bonjour à tous et bienvenue. Let's have a look at the ER ending verbs in French. So first of all, in French, let's see the verb endings. So we have the first group of words, that's ER ending verbs. Then we have the second ending, that is the IR ending verbs. And then we have the third group, that is the RE ending verbs. So in short, all the verbs in French are going to end in either ER, IR or RE. For example, in case of ER ending verbs, we have chanter, to sing, aimer, to like. In case of second group, that is IR ending verb, we can have finir, that is to finish, and choisir, that is to choose. In case of the third group, we can have attendre, that is to wait, and entendre, that is to hear. Alright? So you see that how all these verbs are ending in ER, IR, and RE. So yes, in today's session, we are going to talk about only the first group of verbs, that is the ER ending verbs, and how are we going to conjugate them. So now what is conjugation basically? So when we are going to talk about verbs in case of English, for example, let's take to play. So when I am saying to play, alright, this is the unconjugated verb in case of English as well, that is to play. Then when I am going to put it along with different subject pronouns, it's going to be I am playing, you are playing, he is playing, she is playing, we are playing. So that ing thing that is there in case of English, that doesn't exist in French. Okay. So even when I'm talking about to play in case of English, so this to thing, let's assume that is ER, IR, RE thing in case of French. Okay. So when I'm talking about chanter, when it's written like this, CHANTER, or I'm talking about finir, FINIR, these all verbs are in its infinitive form. What are infinitive form? Infinitive form are unconjugated form in their raw form. Alright? We have to change their ways. We have to change them according to their different subject pronouns. So let's have a look at that. So let's take the ER ending verb parler. Parler. Now, in case of parler, it's ending in ER. Just forget about ER for the time being. Just assume that it is only PARL. So now this PARL is going to be our stem. Okay, it's going to be our stem. Now, je parle, tu parles, il parle, elle parle, on parle, nous parle, vous parle, il parle, and elle parle. After all these, we are going to add the endings of the present tense. And the endings are E in case of je, ES in case of tu, E in case of il, elle, and on, ONS in case of nous, EZ in case of vous, and ENT in case of il and elle. So the pronunciation is going to be je parle, tu parles, il parle, on parle, nous parlons, vous parlez, il parle, and elle parle. So if you pay attention, je parle, tu parles, il parle, elle parle, on parle, il parle, and elle parle. The pronunciation is same in all these cases. The difference is only in the case of nous parlons and vous parlez. Once again, what are the endings? E, ESE, ONS, EZ, and ENT. Très bien. Now, look at these verbs. All these are also the ER ending verbs, and all these are the regular ER ending verbs. Now, when I am saying regular ER ending verbs, what do I mean by regular ER ending verbs? So basically, regular ER ending verbs are all the verbs which are going to be conjugated in the similar fashion. Alright, like how visiter, danser, aimer, they are all conjugated in the same way. Removing the ER and adding the endings E, ESE, ONS, EZ, and ENT. So, je visite, tu visites, il, elle, on visite, nous visitons, vous visitez, il, elle visite. Now, what does this mean? Basically, it is I am visiting, you are visiting, he is visiting, she is visiting, we are visiting, you are visiting, and they are visiting. Now another question can be, if I'm saying I am visiting, so where is this am thing, right? Or if I'm saying I am dancing, in English it is I am dancing. But over here in French, I'm just writing je danse. Where is this am thing? So in French, we are not going to use these helping verbs. So basically, if you're trying to translate it directly from English to French, then please stop doing it. It's not how it is in French. Like this, let's have a look at other ER ending verbs. Penser, regarder, jouer, fermer, donner, and porter. Très bien. Now, remember I told you that all these are going to be our regular ER ending verbs. Then what about irregular? Is there something like irregular ER ending verbs? Yes. We have one irregular ER ending verb, and that is aller, to go. We are going to have a look at this later. For now, just remember that aller is not going to be conjugated in this manner. Okay. Talking about other exceptions, we have the GER ending verbs. Now the verbs I'm going to introduce you with, all these are going to be the spelling change verbs. Okay, so there's going to be a slight change in their spelling or a slight change in their accents. So the GER ending verbs, we have manger, to eat. Now if you pay attention, everything is similar. Just like how we conjugate in the normal ER ending verbs, everything is the same. The only difference is in case of nous. In case of nous, we are going to keep the E. Nous mangeons. Why? Just to have that smooth sound. It's not mangeons, it's mangeons. Okay? Thus, we are going to keep the E in all the GER ending verbs, only in case of nous. So just the same way how we have manger, to eat, we have nager, to swim, changer, to change, voyager, to travel, and partager, to share. Now, talking about the CER ending verbs. So what happens in case of CER ending verbs? In case of CER ending verbs, only in case of nous, we are going to add an accent with C. Nous commençons. Alright? Apart from that, everything else remains the same, just like how we conjugate all the other ER ending verbs. Now let's look at few of the examples. Annoncer, to announce. Effacer, to erase. Lancer, to throw. And remplacer, to replace. All these verbs are also going to be conjugated just the same way how we are going to conjugate commencer. In case of nous, we are going to add an accent to C. Now, talking about AYER, OYER and UYER ending verbs. So, in this case, we have an example, envoyer, that is to send. Now, what is happening in this case? In this case, Y is being replaced with I. Okay, Y is being replaced with I. Alright, the same way. But only and only in case of nous and vous, we are not going to do that. So this replacement of Y with I is going to take place only in case of je, tu, il, elle, on, the last plural form, il and elle. Okay. Now, the examples of this can be nettoyer, that is to clean, payer, to play, and essayer, to try. In this case, when we are going to talk about AYER ending verbs specifically, then it is not necessary to interchange the Y with I. We can do that and we can skip that as well. That's optional. Okay. Now, in case of accent grave verbs, in this case, all the verbs which are ending with E with a right hand side facing accent, then followed by any letter and then ER. So we are talking about specifically this category of verbs. In this case, what we are going to do, we are going to replace the right hand side facing accent with a left hand side facing accent. So j'espère, tu espères, il espère, and so on. Only in case of nous and vous, it's going to remain the same. That means in case of nous and vous, we are not going to change the accent. The examples of this are compléter, to complete, and possede, that is to possess. Okay. Now the last one, the double consonant verbs. Now what are these double consonant verbs? So over here in the last slide, we saw the verbs which are ending with E with an accent on top of it and another letter and then ER. So this is quite similar, but over here it is specifically for ELER and ETER verbs. So in this case, we are going to double our L and T. So here in case of appeler, the spelling is APPELER, appeler, to call. So L is going to double in case of je, tu, il, el, o, and il, el in the plural form, not in the case of nous and vous. Okay, so it's j'appelle, tu appelles, il appelle, on appelle, nous appelons, vous appelez, ils appellent, and elles s'appellent. Okay, the examples of this can be jeter, to throw. So over here in case of jeter, it's going to be the T that's going to double. Rappeler, to call back, and rejeter, that is to reject. Très bien. Now let's have a look at this short exercise and let's see if you can conjugate the verbs properly or not. So in the first sentence, it's L dash a film. And the verb that we have to use is regarder. Regarder. So regarder, that's the ER ending verb. And since you're using L over here, so the spelling is going to be Elle regarde un film. She is watching a movie. Elle regarde un film. Now in the second sentence, it's nous dash notre maison. And the verb that we have to use is changer. It's GER ending verb. So what do we do in case of GER ending verb? We keep the E intact in case of nous. So yes, we are using nous over here. So it's going to be nous changeons notre maison. We are changing our house. In the third sentence, it's nous dash la balle. And the verb that we have to use is lancer. That is to throw. So it's going to be CER ending verb. So we are going to add an accent to C. So nous lançons la balle. We throw the ball. Now in the fourth sentence, it's je dash la maison. And the verb is nettoyer. So it's going to be je nettoie la maison. We clean the house. We are going to replace the Y with I. Then in the fifth sentence, it's il dash le gâteau. And the verb is compléter. It's the ETER ending verb in which the E has a right hand facing accent. So here it will become il complète le gâteau. Now in the last sentence, je dash le stylo, it's jeter. The verb that we have to use is jeter. So we are going to conjugate it as je jette le stylo. I am throwing the pen. So we have doubled the T in this case. Alright? Très bien. I hope it's clear with you all that how we are going to conjugate the ER ending verbs. I would love to see few sentences from you. So please drop few sentences with ER ending verbs in the comments below. And if you liked the video, then please don't forget to like, share and subscribe and hit the bell icon and stay updated for the future videos. A bientôt!